Thank you. Good afternoon, conference. Thank you very much for inviting us. At the danger of giving our age away, what you've got today is the female version of the two Ronnies. So you have got the two Rachels. Thank you, Reinhard, for the introduction. We've come today to talk to you about our experience of delivering dementia care and support services. But what we want to do is just quickly explain what we're going to do through this next 25 minutes that we've got with you. Okay? So today our objectives are to briefly introduce you to the portfolio of services that Making Space provides. We promise that will be a very short 3-minute talk. We want to share our best practice and learning from our dementia work through 3 unique lenses, and we will explain those lenses to you as we move on through the presentation. And then we want to talk to you about the power of partnership working. In 2016, we're pushing against open doors when we talk about partnership working. It should be, and it is, a given for us. We can't deliver the services we deliver without some of our key partners, a lot of whom are in the room today. So briefly about Making Space. We are a national charity. We've been operating for about 35 years. We work mainly across the north of England. We describe our geographical reach as from Cumbria to Cambridge. Most of our services are in the northwest and the northeast of the country. Okay. We do deliver a range of care and support services. So we originally started off as a mental health charity. We still deliver services around mental health and mental well-being. We support people with learning disabilities. And we also have started in the last 7 or 8 years a quite large portfolio of work in terms of supporting people with dementia. And we also work with older people and age-related concerns. So that's quite a lot for an organisation with 900 staff. What I want to talk to you about with this triangle, so I hope it's working for you. My colleagues in the audience know I'm a fan of a triangle. I think it can tell a lot of stories around people's health and well-being. If you think about our continuum of services in terms of dementia care and support, we start with the centre of the triangle, if there is such a thing. I'm sure there are some logical mathematicians in the audience who will tell me you can't have a circle and a triangle, but I've done my best. So the people at the centre of our triangle are the people who use any of the services that we deliver. At the top of our triangle, we provide specialist support. I'm going to ask you to stick with the triangle with me for the next slide. You'll see what I mean. We also provide people with care and support in their own homes, and we also provide services to people in their community. So I'm hoping that kind of locks in your mind in terms of that shape. Because what we want to talk to you next is our specialist provision in terms of dementia support. At the peak of the triangle in terms of specialised support, we have an independent hospital in Withington in Manchester, so not far from here, called Money Lodge Independent Hospital. That's a 20-bedded unit that provides very specialist care for people with dementia. Our recent CQC inspection, everything came out as good, with a very hard-earned and very well-deserved outstanding for the care that we provide in that hospital. So we as a team were delighted with that outcome. We also provide something called a dementia law clinic in terms of specialist support. That goes back to my earlier discussion around partnership. We work with the University of Manchester and we work with their law clinic. We provide what we would describe as the clinical care and support in terms of people who've just been diagnosed with dementia and the questions they have about their care, but also the questions they have about their legal rights. And we have students from the University of Manchester who provide the legal support for those people with their questions. That piece of work is self-funded by Making Space. We pay for that ourselves. It recently won an award from the Attorney General's office. So for the law students who are about to embark on their law career, they've all started with a national award from the Attorney General's office because of the work they do with Making Space. To support people in their own home, we have 4 extra care schemes in Darlington. So I am stretching that Cumbria to Cambridge geographical remit quite somewhat because I'm putting Cumbria up that part of the country. But in those extra care schemes, we support people to live well in an extra care setting, and those schemes we've worked very hard with our senior management team there to make sure they are dementia friendly. And then at the base of the triangle, we have a wide-ranging number of care and support activities that we provide to people in the community. All of these are commissioned services, so these are all things that we've either received grant aid for or a commissioner has asked us to deliver a service. I won't list them all, but it gives you an idea of the breadth of the geographical nature of what we're doing and also the different types of work we're doing. What we're going to do for the rest of the presentation is take you through the three lenses, or as I like to call them, three pairs of shoes. I've been told by my marketing team that I have to tell you other brands of American sneakers are available. So apparently I'm promoting something I shouldn't be, so I do apologise. But I think it's always useful to think of how you're delivering services, how each person who's having to find some way through what can sometimes be the mess of trying to provide care and support to people. Everybody's got their own perspective. So Rachel is going to take you through 3 case studies, and the idea of them is to talk to you about what commissioners are asking for. And for us, that's mainly when we receive a tender specification, and there are some very clear guidelines of what people want from us. So what we're seeing in terms of what commissioners ask for. We want to talk to you about what the people with dementia and their carers tell us once we start delivering those services. And then we're going to tell you what we're learning along the way. Whilst we've called the presentation best practice, I don't think there's anybody in the room who'd say that we're not always learning. Before I hand over to Rachel, I'm going to ask, not necessarily for audience participation, but certainly for some positivity and some hope from you all. We've tried something innovative and technological, and we're not quite sure it's going to work. We have got plan B if our videos don't work. And if they don't work, you are going to have to listen to us a little bit more. But our intention is, rather than us tell you the whole story, we filmed some of the people who are key to us telling the stories as well. So we'll just have to wait and see if that one works. Okay? So over to Rachel. Do you want me to press your clicker? Okay. Do you want me to do that?
Yeah, you can do. Hi, I'm Rachel Yates. I'm the other Ronnie of Rachel, and I work in the central dementia team of Making Space. We are led by a lady called Kath, who is a consultant Admiral nurse, and we go out across the UK, across our services to support and share good practice that is evidence-based. And we empower our staff. If they've got an idea, we want to empower them to bring this idea to life. And the 3 case studies that we're going to mention now have all come from a seed of somebody's idea and have gone onto a big project. So the first one is what commissioners are asking for. So this is in Mary's shoes, and you're going to see a short clip of Mary in a minute, but this was an idea that has come from commissioners and all different partners within the Doncaster area. It's about 7 major partners. Making Space is the host organisation, but we've got Alzheimer's Society, we've got the Doncaster CCG, we've got Dementia UK, because we've got Admiral nurses that are coming into the mix. We've got the NHS, which is Ardash, we've got Sue Ryder. So we've got a lot of big key partners in the Doncaster area that we've all come together to share our resources, our skills, our knowledge in providing the best care that we possibly can for those living with dementia and their carers in Doncaster. It is a 14-month pilot, and it is being independently evaluated by Sheffield Hallam University, and we're hoping after the 14 months, I think we're only about 3-4 months into the project at the moment, but towards the end we will obviously share this good practice, and we are hoping that this model from the Doncaster will be replicated across the UK. So hopefully, fingers crossed, our technology.
Admiral nursing has long been established and recognised as quality provision for carers of people with dementia. Dementia advisors, by comparison, are relatively new to the health and social care landscape. Our commissioners listen to what people with dementia and their carers are saying, and their key priority was for a responsive and equitable post-diagnostic support service for the whole dementia family.
So that's Mary giving her sort of side of it.
Making Space are the hosts of this
Sorry, technical. So Mary is one of the Admiral nurses in Doncaster. There is 2 other Admiral nurses and they're supported by dementia navigators. So it's all the different skills and all the different levels coming together to provide a service throughout the Doncaster areas. So that was a seed of an idea that has now blown into a project in supporting people in Doncaster. So our second idea was the Dementia Law Clinic, which we have been running a pilot from Warrington last summer. From what people were telling us, people had sort of like legal issues that they wanted. They didn't know where to go, how much it would cost. They were wrapped up in the caring role and life in general, and what do we do? So in partnership with the University of Manchester, we've partnered up together to offer a free law clinic, which obviously the second appointment as well can be done by an Admiral nurse. So you can come to our clinic. You'll be emotionally supported by an Admiral nurse via Skype throughout the appointment. The legal team will already be triaged. They will already know about your case, but it's just meeting that face-to-face via Skype. In the meantime, if you're bringing a person with dementia with you and they don't want to attend the appointment with the Skype, they can sit with our team and they will, if they choose to, undergo a communication and activity assessment, very similar to the pool assessment. So we are giving the carer or the family members actual tools that they can come away with around how to communicate effectively and how to increase and do more meaningful activities away from the clinic. So this case study here is a lady called Carol. Carol works for Making Space and cares for a mum with dementia. There, so that's Carol's story. Fingers crossed for a second time. No.
We're nearly in business.
When I got there, Kath, the Admiral nurse, was there, and I was in bits, to be honest. I was standing all over the place, and she really calmed down. It was really simple and straightforward. I just came into head office, sat down in front of the computer, and there he was, the barrister, and within minutes he was giving me really sound advice. Within a week, he emailed me to make sure that I was happy with the information given me, and he sent all the relevant forms and the post, and it's just such a load off my mind. And I can't praise the clinic enough. I don't know what I would have done without them at that time.
So that's Carol and her personal story of how she experienced the clinic. There is a leaflet in all the delegate bags about the actual clinic there, and the numbers are on there if you're interested or you want more information about the clinic. We have actually last week and this week launched our clinic from central Manchester into Derby and Oldham, and we are hoping to go out into more of our dementia services across the UK. So over the next 12 months we are hoping to broaden our portfolio of the Dementia Law Clinic. So the third case study is around consultancy, and it's around what we were doing in Making Space. People were saying to us, how have you done that? How do you do that? So now we actually go out and help care homes or housing providers or other groups to help set them up. If they want to become more dementia friendly or they've got an idea, then we will help them do that. This third case study is from a lady called Dawn, who works for Contour Housing. It's quite a large housing association, and they were realising that their tenants in their housing were actually going on to develop dementia, but yet their staff and their organisation weren't geared up for that. So Contour and Making Space have partnered up to make Contour more dementia friendly. Setting up dementia cafes, got a range of dementia cafes in their supported housing schemes. We go out into the community delivering dementia friend sessions at schools. So this is Dawn's case study.
Making Space actually came along to work with us to do this. They're still looking at this at the moment. The reason why I wanted to do it in partnership working with this is Making Space could make a difference for us. They have the knowledge and experience. They basically involved in the teams to measure the dementia cafes and help those team managers. They've got to work with us in terms of developing some strategies for making the dementia cafes sort of sustainable in place where we can actually train type environment, so we can actually use some of the work that Making Space have done with us in training our scheme managers so that they can become mentors to train their scheme managers and carry on the programme.
So that's Dawn's experience. So the Dementia Cafe set off in one of the housing schemes. It was a sheltered housing in Little Lever in Bolton, and it's a place where the people, the residents living with dementia and their carers can come downstairs to the lounge, and what organically started to happen was their family members started to come in. The next scheme down the road started to come, and the room got bigger and bigger and bigger. I think the most we've had in that cafe is about 40 people. And obviously then we opened another cafe, and so a string of 5 cafes have happened, and organically it's just made the connections to the community with children integration work, and it's just gone on to work with the universities and doing the football club, Bolton Wanderers, so it's gone on and it's escalated, and that's what we're doing. So it's a little idea that has gone into creating not just a little dementia friendly in a supported housing scheme, but a dementia friendly community in the community. And that's what we're trying to do. So if you've got an idea in your head now about what you want to do, or you think there's barriers that are stopping you from doing it, then we're here to try and help you, sort of thing. We don't want you reinventing the wheel. If somebody else has already done it, then we can share with you what we've learnt. Yeah.
If we just end with the final word around partnership to create integrated care, because that really is what we're all talking about now. We had too many partners to put onto one slide, so we've kind of captured it in a couple of number of key partners. We've been working with care providers. We've given you some examples there of us going into housing associations or care homes and helping them become dementia friendly. But also we learn from them when we go there, because we're working with people who are living it on a day-to-day basis, and they can tell us what works and what doesn't. We've done a lot of work, particularly in the Bury area, with GPs, and that is something that Rachel herself has led on. And that has been, again, I know there's been questions from the audience about it today, and other speakers have spoken about GPs being probably the first person that you are going to talk to if you receive a diagnosis. And GPs themselves know that they're not necessarily always equipped to answer the huge amount of questions that you have. So we've got a small programme together which is about helping GPs become dementia friendly. And if you ever want to kind of have a planning session with Rachel about doing that, she's got a really good way of doing things so that you're not sat behind a desk all day. You can walk around a park and in 20 minutes you end up with a strategy. So believe me, I've seen it in action. But we are keen to have our work. Everything we do has validation. Everything we do is based on evidence that's coming from some of the key universities and from organisations like Alzheimer's Society. We are committed to having our own work validated, so we are working with a number of universities across the North West. We tried our best to stay within the time limit. I haven't had a wave yet to say that we're beyond it, so I'm kind of feeling like we've achieved one of our objectives. We could stand here and talk all day to conference about best practice examples. We are upstairs, so if you find us upstairs, there are at least 10 members of the Making Space team in the audience today, so there's lots of us here to talk to you. Our contact details are all here, our email addresses and phone numbers. I'm hoping I haven't put Rachel's personal mobile up there and it is her work mobile, otherwise I've got some questions to answer later on. But that's really everything from us, so thank you for listening to us.